This is part of the Ultimate WordPress website tutorial. The full tutorial can be found in the description below. Okay, let's get started. You want to do is go to a website called namecheap.com. So what we want to do, essentially what Namecheap is a place to buy domains. It's one of the cheapest, hence the name Namecheap. Place for buying domains. It's where I buy all my domains when I buy them for clients or when I've bought them for myself. And it's one of the best marketplaces to buy one. So what we're going to do is we're going to first sign ourselves up for an account, and then we're going to go through and purchase our domain and then set it up with Cloudways. So it's super simple, easy to do, and I'm going to walk you through step by step setting up. So the first thing you want to do is just go to dashboard, account dashboard, and you want to go to sign up. And then you want to fill out the details here and sign yourself up, fill all those out, and then go create new account. Now I already have an account, so I don't need to sign yourself up, but go through, sign yourself up, confirm the email, and then I'll see you guys on the other side. Okay, so once you are signed in, now we go ahead and purchase for ourselves a domain name. Now, if you're wondering, what is a domain name? Essentially, a domain name is your URL. So this Namecheap's domain name is Namecheap. So for you guys, you're going to pick something that is, represents your business. Ideally, your business's name. Now, the thing with picking a domain name is there's a lot of different options out there these days, especially. And, a lot of people get confused with what they should do and everything like that. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview, very brief, of my recommendations when you're purchasing a domain name. So firstly, the most common one we all know is .com. And now ideally, this is the best one you can get. However, you're going to find when you start searching that they're pretty hard to come by. .coms are usually taken unless you think of a very unique name. So the next best bet that I usually go with or recommend is a .co. That is a really good one that is perfect for companies, online businesses, and things like that. That can work perfectly fine, and that can be a great workaround. Again, ideally .com, but most likely a lot of the time that's going to be taken. The next option is subdomain, domains with extensions, so .com.au. That is in the case of just if you were to only run your business in Australia or the US. Obviously, you'd have, I don't know what you guys, is it .us? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So that's another option you can go. And usually when you do a .com.au or a .com.us, you might actually find it for your business name. But only do that if you're only going to sell in your region, like you're only going to sell to people in your country. Otherwise, you limit yourself for search and you limit yourself in a lot of ways. So it's just those different ones like that. Other options are things like .net, which I'm not the biggest fan of using. That's really not ideal most of the time. .online is another one that can sometimes work, but there's a lot these days. There's .ai, obviously. Then there's what else is there? There's .co.com. Yeah, they're kind of your main ones. .shop is another one these days. Yeah, but let's go through and I'll show you purchasing one, and a few more ideas might come to me when I see other listed there. But so let's just say we're going to pick one for this made up Physio Oz, physio-oz.com. I'd be shocked if that's not taken. Absolutely shocked. And I'm not going to purchase it anyway because it'd be expensive. It's only $15. So that's actually very surprising that's not taken. Again, I'm not going to purchase it because I don't need it, but I'm just showing you guys how to go about and purchase a domain name. So ideally, this would be perfect. So Physio-Oz, I'd go physio-oz.com. Now, if that had been taken, which a lot of the time it is, so this is pretty good that it's actually not taken, you would pick something like .co. So you could go like that. And so look, that's a little bit cheaper again. And then there's going to be So these are different options it's already given me. So it's got .dev. So you wouldn't want really any of these. .health, that's one that's becoming a bit more popular these days. Maybe you could use that. .biz, maybe. I probably still wouldn't use that. And the most of these I wouldn't use. I'd really just lean towards .com or .co and maybe something like .health if you were in that space. Other than that, I wouldn't go any stray really away from those. Or of course your .com, .aus, ones like that. But in this case, because I'm purchasing this for a made up mock website, I'm just going to go through and look at that. .com.au is actually taken as to be expected because it's an Australian based business name. Okay, so I'm going to pick, even though obviously I've already told you, do not do .online yourself just because it's cheaper. You'll shoot yourself in the foot, but I'm purchasing it for the sake of this, so I'm not, throwing money down the toilet with things, URL I'm definitely never ever going to use, but I'm just doing it for this video. So I found one of the cheapest possible ones that I can do. Again, ideally you guys want to go .com, .co, something like that. I'm just giving you an idea. So all we're going to do now is we're just simply going to go physio.oz.online, and then you're going to go add to cart. And then you're going to have all these pop up here, and you're going to say, NO, check out. We don't need any of those. And then you're going to be probably a few more things they're going to be trying to sell you on, and you're just going to go to no again, confirm order. Okay, awesome. So once that's done, you've purchased your domain name and everything like that. What you're going to do now is go through and we're going to set up the actual domain name. So we're going to go back to here, we're going to Namecheap. And then what we're going to do now is go back to our website. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to our website. Now, if you've exited out somehow of your website, remember, all you need to do is log back into Cloudways. So I'm going to go back for you so you know, and you just go to Flexible and you go to My Applications. And yes, you can see a lot here. And then you open up that and then you go through, and this is your login details here again. So you just go through to here, through your website. It's going to go to the login. Hopefully you've kept yourself logged in. If you haven't, remember you just copy and paste this here and put it in. Okay, and then we're just going to go back now and we're going to go ahead with setting up our domain name. Okay, so what we want to do now to add our own domain name is we want to go through and go to, so I'm in my thing and then I'm in my application, and then I'm going to go to domain management. Now, what we want to do here is see, this is currently our primary. So this is where everything's linked to. We want to add our own domain. So the domain that we just purchased. So I just purchased one. So what we're going to do here, and we're going to change this to, in here, we're going to put in the one I just purchased. You're going to put whatever you just purchased at just.com. You don't need the HTTP access. You're just putting the domain. So for the domain, we're going to put in physio.oz.online. Okay, so you're just going to put in what you just purchased then, but without the www HTTP access. You're just going to put in there. So I bought physio.oz.online, and then you're just going to leave this. So don't worry about add as wildcard or anything like that. Just hit save changes. Put that one in. Okay, so now that one's added. We also want to add one more variation, is just go through add domain. I'm going to put in what we just put in before, but we're going to put before it, we're going to put www. Okay, so what this essentially means is that both if people type in www. Your website, it'll work, and if they just type in this version, it'll also work, and they'll both call to the domain. They'll both be sent to the right thing. I know all this sounds a little bit confusing, but promise you, once it's done, it's done. You don't need to think about it ever again, okay? And this is the sort of things that you just never see people actually show in tutorials. And, it's super important. They're literally one of the most important things of a website, and yet it gets avoided and not spoken about. So that's why I'm here, to ensure that we actually go through it. So you're going to add the version like this, which is just www dot whatever your URL is, your domain you just purchased. And hit save changes. Okay, so we've got both those added now. Now, I'll just point out also that if you're getting lost at any point in time, just know that in the description below, if you haven't already done it by now, nearly near the end of this tutorial, downloaded the starter pack. I've also got a troubleshooting guide and also a document walking you through things like this. So just so you know that you're doing everything correctly and not missing anything. But you should be able to follow along well enough for this. Okay, so that part's done. Awesome, pat on the back. Now all we're going to do is go through to your domain, and you want to go to your domain list. So go back into Namecheap, and then you're going to have your domain. You're not going to have as many as me. I know I have a lot. And then you're going to go through to manage here on your domain that you pick. You're going to only have one, so it's going to be easy. Then you're going to have advanced DNS, and then you're going to go through here. Now, what you want to do is you will have had a CNAME record. Okay, so once you've deleted that CNAME record, okay, so what we need to do now is add in an A record. So we want to go through and go add A record, and you're going to do host is going to be at, and then you're going to do your Cloudways public IP address. Now you're going to be thinking to yourself, what are you going on about, Isaac? But promise you, it's not very difficult. So we're just going to do A record at your IP address, and I'm going to show you how to find it. So coming back to Cloudways. Now you're in this section here. You want to go back to recovered local biz sites. No, sorry. You want to go back to your server. That's what mine's called for a business that I run for creating websites for businesses. So you want to come down here, and you're going to just see the public IP. Just copy that one, and then all you need to do is go back to here, and then just place that one in there. Oh, what's going on here? Copy that. That's copied now. Paste that in here, and hit tick. So it's added. You do one more A record, and you write www, and then you just put the Cloudways IP address in again and hit tick. Okay, and then one last thing we want to do, once you've done those, is just also delete this URL redirect if you have one there, which you very likely will. So you just want to hit delete. So don't worry you're doing anything bad. This just means that it's not going to reroute it to this separate one here and mess with what we're trying to set up here with being sent to Cloudways. So just delete that record there, and then all good. So now what we want to do is go back to here, back to our Cloudways, and we want to go back to my applications. Then you're going to pick your application. There's only going to be one. And then you're going to go to domain management. And then what we want to do is we want to set one of these as primary. Now, ideally, most websites these days, as you'll see, display without www, WordPress, all these. So ideally, these day and age, you want to tick this one, and then you want to go to make primary. And then you want to set it as primary, and we switch to alias, all good to go. We hit that. Okay, so now, once that's done, it's probably going to take a while. So for me, I was waiting for a couple of minutes before it came back to this screen and said that it was ready, that it was made primary. Now, something has to happen now called DNS propagation. You don't need to worry about what the heck that even means, but essentially it's just, waiting for it to all be put out onto the internet and updated and everything. So in best case scenario, in 5 minutes, it'll be done and it'll be live and it'll be working. Worst case scenario, you have to wait at least 24 hours to be able to go to the website. But in the meantime, this link here is always still going to work. That's your original one. Don't worry that you think it's just removed. It's all still there. It's just, it's just being updated. But we can test it now. So if we went through to here and press Control C and put this in, let's just see what happens. So if I go to here, okay, so it's loading. And right now, let's go, it's saying it's not safe. And there's a perfect spot for me to show you how we put in what's called a SSL certificate, which again, another thing that pretty much no tutorials ever show yet it's super important and can scare a lot of people. And, you know, every website needs an SSL certificate in, and I'm going to show you guys how to set one up for free. Okay, so what you're going to do, I'm just going to hit advanced here and see whether it'll go through when I click that. So cool. So it's going through to my website. Now it's going to nothing yet because I actually hadn't set it up, the website, as the official homepage, the one we made. So the fact that this shows up though means it's all working, and that's probably what's going to be coming up for you. So don't stress that you've lost the website. Everything is good. Remember, I'm here to help you through. So that is awesome. So mine's worked in a really short amount of time, which is awesome. And you're seeing it's asking me to log back in because it's all changed now, which is awesome to see. Now, we did have the issue with the, it's saying that I had to click advanced to get through, which you don't want. And you don't want this not secure and everything coming up. So all we need to do, easy fix, if you want to install an SSL certificate. So quick and easy. I know all this sounds super technical, but this is the stuff that you need to do on a website. This is why this, as I've said a million times, this is why this tutorial is a lot longer, because I'm actually showing, you know, it's not a 15-minute, 5-minute process. Okay. So what we're going to do is go to SSL certificate, and we're just going to go to click Let's Encrypt. They're the best to do it with. Then you want to put an email address in here. It doesn't matter what you put. Just put whatever demo email, you know, you signed your website up with. I'm just going to put in Isaac, design tutorials at gmail.com. Gmail.com. Why did it do a hashtag? That's weird. Okay. And then you just want to put in the domain name. So we're just going to put in the one that we had. So Fizz Online. So we're going to do that one. I'm going to do it for both again. So we're going to do firstly for this one and just install certificate. Okay. So once that's done, so we've installed the SSL certificate, and now we just want to do one more. So we want to do one for www. So I want to put that in again, but we'll put www in front of it, and then hit. Actually, first let's actually just redo it to make sure it's there. But it installed the SSL certificate. Cool. So this domain name has added one here. Now let's add another domain. So let's go through and add in it as www. Dot and add a one for that version too. And that's all done. Okay. So now what we want to do is, so just so you understand, normally like a lot of hosting providers actually make you pay. Honestly, they actually make you pay for SSL certificates, and that can be up to like $100. Yeah, they range from $10 to $100 a year, just depending on who sells them. Whereas Cloudways allows you to install them for free, and they're free forever automatically once you've done this. So it's an absolute no-brainer again, why I recommend going with Cloudways. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go back here. I'm going to try this one more time, and it may have fixed it. It may have updated, but it's also very likely it hasn't, because it can take time for it to be updated. But we're going to try one more time. So I'll fully exit out of that, and I'll put it in again and see what happens. Okay, so it's still saying not secure, but that doesn't mean that it's not secure, because if I put that on, I'm just going to quickly see if I put it on another browser, will that actually be secure? Yeah, look at that. So it is secure already. So it's working. It's just sometimes if you've already done it on another website and it hasn't worked, it didn't work the first time. It can take what time for the cache to upgrade and everything like that. So you're done. But if it doesn't work right away, that's perfectly fine. Okay. But you should absolutely be very proud of yourself, because now you have officially gone through and you have created, you've done, you're pretty much done now. There's going to be a few last things I want to do to make sure this is super valuable for you guys, but you should be super proud of yourself, because now you officially have your website on your own domain. So I'm going to show you in a moment. Okay. So what you want to do now that the domain's done, I've gone back into access details. So I just clicked up here under my application. So if you've got lost, just go to applications, pick your application, go to access details. Now you see my application or my website is at the domain name that you just set up. And then you're going to have this one here, which is actually showing your domain name /WP admin. So that's your backend login. Now it looks like that. So that's awesome. So we're going to just put that in here. So we're just going to put in those again, our login, and then our login password. I'm just going to show you, we're going to log in and have a look. Okay, so awesome, guys. So there we go. So it's still saying not secure, but it will be soon, or it will already be. It's just taking time to upgrade. But that should be an awesome feeling for you guys, because now you're officially logged. You've officially got your own website, and you've got that, your own domain, which is huge. So absolute pat on the back. Should feel amazing you've got to that. Now, one last thing I want to do. So, because officially, if you go to visit site, watch what we see. We just see this. You're going to be confused, worried that you've lost everything. You haven't. We just haven't told what we want to display as our homepage. So this is going to be one of our final things to do. And then the website is done. And then we'll just finish off with a bit of SEO help for you guys. So all you need to do now is simply go back to here to our dashboard. And then what I want you to do is go to settings. And then I want you to go to reading. And then I want you to go to this one here, your homepage displays as a static page, homepage, and you're going to select the one we called home. And then you just hit save. And now look what happens when I click here. Voila. Now that is when there's some congratulations in order. So go back, follow it again if you've got lost. But right now, if you followed along, you will now officially have your own website, completely custom to your own and on your own domain, which is absolutely huge, awesome. Pat on the back, because that's absolutely incredibly amazing work. A lot of people talk about building a website, and then they, then a few actually action that, and even fewer actually get to the end of a complete website. So I just want to say that I'm super proud of you. Well done. Huge pat on the back.